Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time since the last time, it's that time, right about that time, for your favorite Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III, and this is a Pokemon HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke. How are you all doing today? Welcome to episode 3 of the Nuzlocke. In episode 2, we got the Ledian egg. It took a little bit of time, so as I mentioned I would do in between sessions, I went and hatched the egg, but I also grabbed the other two, and as you may see here on the screen, we got the Ledian. We nicknamed it Ladybug. Shout out to my mother. She has one tattoo. It's a very tiny tattoo. It is a ladybug. And the ladybug is in honor of her dog, who passed away several decades ago, almost at this point, probably like 2 decades ago. But shout out to my mom and Ladybug, our former dog, one of the greatest dogs we've ever had. So, Ladybug, the Ledian, hatched up. Airlock, the ability, eliminates the effects of weather. Not a great ability, but doesn't hurt us, so we'll take it. As you'll see here, we also got a Dodrio named after Farrier, David Farrier, co-host of a couple different podcasts, such as Armchaired and Dangerous, Flightless Bird, a couple different documentaries. I think of Dodrio, I think of like the kiwi bird. Kiwi birds make me think of New Zealand. David Farrier is from New Zealand, so Farrier, our Dodrio, and then Miss Magius, our Bloom, I should say, our Miss Magius. I often name these either Maggie or Bloom, especially since I was introduced to one of my newest favorite TV shows. Not my favorite of all time, but probably a top 5 of all time TV show. A Million Little Things. If you don't watch A Million Little Things, there are the trigger warnings for those of you who want trigger warnings for pretty much anything and everything. But oh my gosh, is that show just amazing. It can make you laugh, it can make you cry, sometimes in the same sentence, let alone the same scene. So highly recommend you go watch that. But name this Bloom because Maggie kind of comes from its Maggies and Maggie Bloom in A Million Little Things. So those are some new additions to our team. I did put up a couple folks, as you can see, just to be able to get the eggs and get them hatched up, but we did not train. We still have these all at level 1. So the first thing we're going to do is we definitely want our ball toy back on the team, so we will head there and hopefully put up. This might seem weird because Dodrio is a far better Pokemon to have than Ledian, but we're going to need some HM slaves coming up soon, especially right after gym number 1, we get Rock Smash. I think Ledian can learn Cut when we get it. So Ledian might end up being our HM slave, at least early on. Oftentimes, I just teach my Pokemon HMs based on kind of their characters. Oftentimes, like my Grass type has Cut, my Water type has Surf, Waterfall. Whirlpool's really aggravating in this game because you barely use it. Really, once you get to the Elite Four, you can fly back and delete it, which I often do. But it does have a couple of key elements in the story that require you to use it, so you suffer through. But we are going to take on the gym here today. I should probably grind. You know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's see if we can't grind up. No, you know what? We're not going to do that. Same risks, right? We're just going to power through. We want to keep this 30, 45 minutes an episode here. We're going to go into the gym. We're going to take it on. If we do this well, we can get the gym done today. We can get some encounters. We can get a bunch of encounters today because we can unlock the fishing rod, go back to New Bark Town and some points in between and get three or four different encounters with the fishing rod, depending on how we want to do Ruins of Elf. So let's just dive in. Same threats as before, right? If we run into Shadow Tag, if we run into Arena Trap, that's going to not be great, but we can take it. And before I forget, we put Farrier up. Manaphy. All right. We can definitely take that down with our Bulbasaur. But I put Farrier up. Mentioned in a couple of podcasts. Love me some Armchair and Dangerous. Flightless Bird. Armchair Expert. What is your favorite podcast? Question of the day. What's your favorite podcast? Leave it in the comments below. If you're new here, hi. Thank you. I'm Sebastian Todd, the third. I go by ST3. I appreciate you hanging out today. We are here just to have some fun, play a little bit of a Pokemon Randomizer, Nuzlocke, HeartGold, and see how far we can go, how well we can do in our first ever series on the channel. The third episode ever. This is exciting stuff. I am grateful that you have decided to spend some of your day with me here, and I hope that you find this channel to be a place where you can come and have a little bit of a respite from society, have a little break from the hubbub of normal life, hang out, have fun, uh, converse in the chat, etc. This is just a safe place to just have fun, play some Pokemon, and not have to worry too much about the world because, hey, worst case scenario right now, we are playing Pokemon, which is one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite stress relievers. Uh, so, anyway, welcome. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy. If you do enjoy, if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We're not trying to do anything special with this channel quite yet. If we can get to grow, wonderful. Nobody's going to complain about that. But really, we're just here to have fun, play Pokemon. But like and subscribe if you don't mind. It would be phenomenal. Manaphy, wonderful little mythical Pokemon. Not much of a threat to our team, just a bit of a time staller. Tailgo, obviously, making it a little bit more difficult, but we've got some moves that can chip away, and that's what we're going to do. I think that's really, a microcosm of life, right? We're just here to chip away at everything, right? We just got to, some days, that's what you got to do. You can't make big strides, chip away at it, right? Whatever you're going on, whatever's going on in your life, whether it's work, whether it's something personal, maybe you're in a book club and you just don't like that book this month. Spoiler, if you're from book club that I'm in, I haven't started this month's book. It looks gorgeous, so I'm not using this as a real life example. But you just gotta chip away some days, right? Maybe it's a work task, and you're like, man, I just can't get through this work task. I just don't know how to really make the impact that I want to do. Chip away. Chippies is always good. Chip. Keep moving forward. My grandmother, one of my role models, used to say about driving, especially in the winter. I'm from the Northeast. We have some fun winter driving up here. But she used to say, long as the tires are moving forward. Okay. Well, thank you for. No, I'm kidding. Mewtwo. Aiken resists the best. At this point, I am wishing that we had trained up Bloom a little bit here, because Ghost type would be phenomenal. Disabled. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage. We'll start with Confusion. We should resist this. Mewtwo's got good special. Okay. 4 points of damage. Even a crit. We've got some wiggle room here. Confusion doesn't do much. I was really hoping that Mewtwo would go for Disable the Confusion. We could hit it with some bigger attacks. That's okay. We'll chip away with Confusion. That's the point of today, right? That seems to be our mantra today. It is Saturday when this goes up, too. So let's chip away. Not at the weekend. That's what we wanted. We wanted to disable Confusion. That's fine with us. We'll sacrifice a turn right there. Heck yes. And then let's Rapid Spin. Let's see. Can Huge Power Rapid Spin come through? On a Mewtwo of all people. No, not really. But that's okay. We will go to Mud Slap, see if we can get some accuracy lowered. Yikes, the crit. I wish I remembered what our health was before that crit so I could do some quick math and figure it out. I hope it was more than 11. Because if we get critted again here, we might lose them on. Okay. That was a risk I was willing to take. I'm not willing to take another one like that because I know a crit kills here. So let us potion up our ball toy, Aiken. And a reminder, I didn't have one of these in episode 2, but reminder, drink your water. Hey, we got the miss. We got the miss. I don't think Psybeam's going to do much. We got a double miss. Well, Psybeam it here just to see if it does enough. It does. We get the crit. We get the kill. Mewtwo's down. That was kind of scary, but Aiken pulls through. And Respite Hour. Slack off. Gains a couple more levels. Hypno coming in. Gonna be the same thing, so we're gonna We're not getting any kind of amulet coin help on this with extra money, but that's okay. We're getting some levels on respite. I'm going to say this like 8 different ways every time that we send it in. That's okay. I'm always going to keep saying respite, even though I spelled respite. All good. That's Mud Slap. Let's see if we can drop some accuracy. We can drop accuracy, but whew, that is no damage at all. And we get the hypnosis. Hypno can't do much to us unless it has Headbutt. I think it just used Pound, so I'm guessing it does not have Headbutt. Disabled failed. We wake up. We hit Psybeam. Let's see if this will do any kind of damage. No. So, chip away, right? Our mantra today, chip away. Whatever is coming at you, we chip away. Huge power, rapid spin? Not much more. And our rapid spin gets disabled. We'll chip away, try to lower some accuracy, maybe. Prevent stuff like hypnosis hitting, but no such luck. That's all right. We grind, we survive, we chip, chip, chip. Thankfully, we resist confusion. Pound might do more for Hypno, but we'll take it if it goes for confusion. That's fine with us. We're going back to Rapid Spin because if the Hypno uses Disable again, I'd rather have it take out the Rapid Spin than our Mud Slap, and then I misclick, so that's great. There we go. Rather lower the accuracy. If they can't do too much to us, then we're in a better position to win. Hopefully miss the hypnosis, but I think we take it down right here. No. Oh, it seemed to be a low roll. Yeah, missed that. Let's just use confusion. That should take down the hypno. It did take down the hypno. All right. That leaves us with just the gym leader. We're going to go heal up. This is not a hardcore if you are a big Pokemon YouTube watcher. We're not doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. We can heal in battle. We can leave the Pokemon Center. We can overlevel if we want. If we want to take the time and overlevel our Mons, we can. And I probably will at some point. It's an easy way to get around the Nuzlocke. I say easy, even with speed up. It's not like this is the super fastest gameplay in the world, so it takes some time, but that is fine. And we might end up having a grinding episode. We're just chill. We grind up the team, get some levels, and just chat. I mean, most of this series so far is just us playing some Pokemon and chatting anyway. So, may do some of that on screen where we just grind away and podcast it up, I guess. That was a question of the day too. So if you're just tuning in for some reason, 13 minutes in the episode, hi, welcome, thanks for being here. Question of the day: what's your favorite podcast? Years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I don't think we ever posted. And here I am talking. I almost just attacked with our Slack off. I'm gonna go into zombie and I'm gonna pray that this Snover does not go for a grass type move because we are thankfully. Whew, all right, I see when we are weak to grass. But a few years ago, a friend of mine and I did do a short-lived podcast. We recorded, I think, 2 episodes. I don't think we ever posted them anywhere. He might have. I don't remember hearing about where they would have gone, but I don't think they'll ever see the light of day. But just kind of talk about some different conspiracies and stuff. They're just fun. And to kind of dive into where the conspiracy theories come from, what we think about them. I think we're gonna keep zombie in for a major reason here, and that major reason is that this might have pursuit, and I'm not going to risk our slack off through a pursuit switch training. We're super effective. Sandstream is not ideal for a Honchkrow, but that's okay. We're super effective with Icy Wind. That did a lot of damage. that did a lot more though. So, and with the speed drop, we should outspeed now. I'm hoping that the sandstorm won't give it enough that it heals. He probably will heal, but that's okay. The heal did not heal. To heal or not to heal? That is the question. We outspeed, but if we miss, we lose zombie. And we just missed. Icy wind. If we heal, we only get 20 points of damage, and a crit might take us down. But because Hodge Crow is going for wing attack, you know what? I don't think we have much of a choice here. I think we outspeed. Either we miss and we win, or we miss and or we hit and we win, or we miss and we lose. I think if we heal up, we're just delaying that a turn or two out. We don't miss. We get the win. All right, we think it through. Right, chip away, think it through. Those are the thoughts of the day. So I'll say back to the conspiracy theory podcast that never saw the light of day. There are a couple of things that conspiracy theories I think has some kernels of truth somewhere embedded in them. Some I think are total hokum. I think every person, right? There's at least one or two conspiracy theories that make some sense to you. Um, that seem like there's some logic somewhere behind them, um, but it was just fun mostly to hang out with a friend, chat. We did it, via um, via webcam, so we could see each other too, which was even more fun because he and I grew up together, but we really haven't seen each other a lot outside of my wedding and stuff between him moving away for a while, a couple different places, moving away, a couple different places. So it's just hard to see each other as you grow up and your friendships, evolve. We move on to different parts of our life, but the friends stay with us. They just might not be there every day. So I think that was more of the fun of the podcast. We got Lear as a TM, Lear and Flatter. We're probably going to sell both of those because what are we going to do with either one of them? And I'm going to put up a Pokemon. We're going to put up Bloom. We haven't used Bloom. We're not going to train her up right now. And we need to go get another Pokemon egg. We're going to go get a Pokemon egg. We're going to get a bunch of items. We're going to get some encounters. This is going to be an interesting way to wrap up this episode. How many encounters we can get? We are not quite even to the 20-minute mark. So we got 10, 25 minutes here. Let's see how well we can do with some encounters. As I mentioned in episode 2, had some friends and family that I talked to, and we spoke about some of their favorite Pokemon that they enjoy and some nicknames that they would give. So if we catch any of those, we will get that. Now, I know we have to go to the Pokemon first. I was just hoping to get the Miracle Seed before we get to the egg. I've never done it that way, but figured I would try. No worries. We'll get the egg. We'll get the Super Potion that Mom sends. Yes, we'll take care of the egg. We have no idea what the egg is, so that'll be interesting too to see what our egg ends up being. There's the Super Potion. So let's start with selling some items. I know this is the height of content, right? Almost as fun as watching me try to get Pokemon eggs from Primo. What can we sell? We'll sell a shard. I don't know what Shoal Salt would even be for. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. It's not a lot of money, but we'll get rid of everything. Everything must go. It's a yard sale. Clearance. And the first thing we're going to buy here, because we're not going to go yet to buy Pokeballs. We'll get those in a minute. We got some items to go get. And if you're not familiar with this little trick, watch and learn, as my aunt and my mother once famously said. Watch and learn. The friend and I that run the podcast, we call him Doc. My mom, aunt, Doc, and I were driving down a back road that my mom lives on, dirt road, middle of nowhere. And I won't say it was a big tree, but it wasn't like teeny tiny, medium-ish, um, upper, lower, middle, medium, somewhere in that range. Medium tree had fallen across the road. And it wasn't one that was like so big you couldn't lift it, but it was kind of awkward and whatever. And my mom and aunt, who grew up in the boonies, grew up in the sticks, hiking and not really in the sticks, but they thought they did. And they looked at us too and said, "Watch and learn," because they were going to move that tree from across the road. And well, if you can't figure out by the way this story is set up, they did not. They actually made it worse. They pulled more of the tree into the road to the point where it wasn't actually manageable to get the tree down. It had been leaning. They just ended up uh, pulling it over the road entirely. So we had to go get a truck. And my stepdad, and we got it done. But it's just funny. We pick on them every once in a while. That memory comes up. Watch and learn. Uh, but watch and learn this little trick. We'll go through here. We'll get some items, nothing super fancy. We'll keep the hyper potion, but we'll probably sell a lot of this off. Just get a little bit of money. The more money we have, the more potions we can pick up, the more Pokeballs we can pick up. And Pokeballs, obviously, high demand for this part of this episode because, well, we've got a couple trainers we're going to have to face. I mean, we don't really have to. We can probably save some of those and grind up our Pokemon on them, but we have a bunch of encounters we can get. And before I forget, because I often forget to do this until I'm down at the bottom here anyway of this route, I'm going to go over and I'm going to pick up Rock Smash and see what that item is over on the opposite side of town. And again, this is why we kept Ledian on the team. Ledian should be able to learn Rock Smash. I like to keep my HM and TM compatibility the same as the normal game when I do a randomizer. So I think that just adds a little bit of difficulty to it. So theoretically, if I did the randomizer right, if they can't learn the TM normally, they can't learn it. The one thing I do like is the compatibility of ensuring that, if they were going to learn the move by level up, then they should be able to learn the TM because that just makes sense. Um, but if you can't normally learn Fly or Surf or Cut, I like to keep it that way because plenty of mons can learn them. And I think it just adds a little bit of a challenge. It makes it a little bit more realistic of what the gameplay might be like. If you were to do it yourself, we'll pick up the Yellow Flute. We'll sell that too. If this were versus, maybe we'd keep it. If this was a Soul Link, we'd probably keep a little more items. But interesting. Yeah, up button got stuck there for a minute. No big deal. So we'll sell the escape rope back. We don't get much money for it. We don't need the miracle seed or the mystic water. Again, if we were doing like an actual, some kind of challenge, working as a team or something, we'd probably keep some of those items around. Said in I think episode 1, I don't mind going to the Pokemon Center pretty much anywhere I am. So let's get a handful of the potions, and we're really going to load up on Pokeballs right now. And we're doing 10 at a time because each time we do 10, we get the Pokeball, and this Gen 4 remake of a Gen 2 classic didn't quite allow you yet to buy 40 and get 4. So there's that. All right, new encounter Route 32. What are we going to? Wow, first step in, and we will see a Cacturn. Not mad about it. Not the most exciting encounter. Darkened Grass. We already have a really good grass type on our team. We will yawn it. Why not? Let's see what we can do with Respite here. Respite. The yawn. And then let's scratch it as well. Wow. That was like the perfect amount of damage. All right. And First ball, Bassie. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ah, it's because I said it before. I jinxed it. That's on me. Can't count your cacturans till they're caught. I think that's the saying. I didn't say it well. Can't count your cacturans till they're caught. There we go. Second ball? No. Cacturans playing a little hard to get. That's okay. A big reason to catch Pokemon too is dupes, right? We want to make sure that if we encounter another Cacturn later, we that isn't our encounter, that we can find something else maybe a little more powerful. I've got nothing against Cacturn. I've used Cacturns in playthroughs before, but when you have a Bulbasaur on the team that will eventually be a Venusaur, sorry Cacturn, but you're not winning that. And maybe that's why Cacturn's being a little, reticent to join the team. But we got the Cacturn. We are adding that to the team. It is a giant cactus. So we are going to knit packs of them, follow travelers through the desert until the travelers can no longer move. One of the creepy Pokemon entries. There are so many. But speaking of moving through the deserts, we will name this after a famous desert. We will name this Mojave. And we will transfer that to the PC. We are probably not going to use the Cacturn unless calamity ensues and we lose our Bulbasaur. What could we have had? Machoke. Now that would have been awesome. I would have taken a Machoke. I'm not loving that we can't escape because Respite is weak. Respite. Probably should just change that nickname because I'm only going to butcher saying it. And it's one of those, I've never really thought about how to say that until I named a Pokemon after it and I'm talking about it, and now it's just in my head that I'm not going to be able to say it right. If I wanted to not name, say a Pokemon name well, I could have just named it. I don't even know why I'm going to try this word. The word I cannot pronounce for the life of me is peculiar. Peculiar. Just, my mouth doesn't feel like it's a word that should be said. Like, it doesn't feel right. Numel. I would have taken a Numel. Ground and fire. We could train up a little bit as we go here, but we are really just going. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Get us a little bit of friendship. We talked about the friend balls in episode 1. Hey, it's Ivysaur, our big brother. You know what? Let us train a little bit right here. Because Ivysaur has Leech Seed. But we are 5 levels higher. I think we can kill this fairly easily. And because it is a second stage evolution Pokemon, we should get decent experience for it. The attack fell, though this might be a switch out. Because Leech Seed is doing far too much damage and healing them back up. So, probably does have a grass move if it has Leech Seed already, unlike our Bulbasaur did. But I'm pretty sure we can come in here with a little Icy Wind and take the Bulbasaur down. And we'll just avoid some trainers. We're really just hanging out right now to go get the rod and see if we can get some more encounters, and then we'll use these trainers to help train up our encounters. Of course, he turns right back immediately when we sit down. That's okay. He's only got one Pokemon, typically, and as long as that, yeah, right. I'm gonna say as long as that Pokemon isn't like a Mewtwo again, we've already dealt with one of those. Let's go to Venus. We're not super far from our own Ivysaur. So if we bring in Venus, we'll get probably enough experience from taking down this Rattata. Wow, Quick Attack did a lot. I'd be more concerned if we weren't right beside a Pokemon Center. I mean, interesting. I should probably be scared because if Rattata had gone for quick attack right there, a crit could have killed. But sometimes you just gotta risk it. Not always wise, but sometimes. All right. So we will heal up, obviously, because that did way too much damage to our Bulbasaur. And then we are going to talk to our friend right here, and we are going to get the fishing rod so we can get some more encounters. And we're going to talk to this person because he's going to give us some lure balls, and it's going to help with those fishing encounters. And I think what we're going to do, because we are now over the 30-minute mark, is we're going to get a fishing encounter at the ruins of Alf, and we'll fish there because it would be a level 10 rather than a level 5 or 6. And then we'll wrap up the episode there. And in the next episode, we can go get 3 more fishing encounters and then train them up using some of these trainers here along this path. And it might take us a moment to get there because we're going to pick up these 2 items on the way. Cleffa. And any Pokemon we run into right now, we're just going to run. We're not looking to train too much right at the moment. We really just want these items. I should probably train up, but I don't want to. Trico. Trico would be fun. Trico would have been a better grass type, in my opinion, than the Cacturne that we got here, just because starter Pokemon, better stats. Leaf Blade, really early on, I think level 29, if I'm not mistaken. But we take what we get, right? We can't always choose, especially in a randomizer. So, plus, we have a future Slacking on our team, so I really feel like future Slacking, a future Venusaur. We have a Dugong that can't be affected by electricity and can be as effective on most grass types as they can on the Drill Peck. Interesting, especially knowing that we've already got ourselves a Dodrio just hanging out in the PC. Throw Drill Peck on that early, train that up. Might be worth getting rid of Luddian for that. I think it really all depends on the egg. Maybe if the egg is something awesome, we'll keep the egg. If not, we'll switch it out for the Dodrio, get Drill Peck going. You know, what's funny is I don't remember what the other item even was that we saw in the grass over there. If these Trico want to continue doing damage to me, let me see what I can do to them. Scratch does a lot. Like, I know the attack isn't terrible, even on a slack off, but it does a lot more than I thought it was going to do. It will take some experience, definitely. I mean, slack off is not a fast leveler, necessarily. There are definitely slower ones, but it takes its sweet time. That is for sweat. The only real knock on Numel as a Pokemon and Camerupt is that they are quad weak to water, which is disappointing because I don't know. I just love the idea of the Camel Pokemon. Always have. It's pretty good moves too between Magnitude and Earthquake and the Fire moves. We might run to heal real quick, but we'll take the experience on our way up here before we go get the ruins. Easy for me to say. Ruins of Alpha encounter. But I like a healthy slack off before we go. We're just going to continue running into every Pokemon here. We might pick up some repels at some point to try to avoid some of this, but we also might train on some of them a little bit once we really get a team kind of put together here after these encounters. And once we kind of get an idea of the team, right, we'll know as we get future encounters what needs to be replaced, what doesn't, what Pokemon are stronger. We'll kind of make those decisions as we go. But I tend to morph my teams a lot like as if I was playing in a Soul Link. And I don't want to repeat typings very often. It's hard with a lot of flying types because most flying types are normal. But typically, why be a gym leader? Gym leaders almost always have that one typing, and then they're weak to, they're flying types, so they're weak to electric and rock and ice. So if you have one of those types of moves on a Pokemon, you can usually sweep them pretty easily. So I like to diversify my team a little bit, be ready for anything. Whoops, and I'm walking right by the ruins of Alph because I am lost to my own commentary. Hopefully you guys like the commentary too. What do you guys want me to talk about? Leave a comment down below. And if I haven't said so in this episode already, if you enjoy being here, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you don't like being here, that's fine too. Drop a comment. Let me know what I can do to work on this. I know that it's not going to be the prettiest looking series on YouTube because I don't know what I'm doing. I am doing this all from scratch. It is all self-taught. But I am enjoying myself nonetheless. And I hope you are too. And if you are, like, subscribe, share it with a friend or several. So we will set our fishing rod so we can just easily hit the button of the peaceful calm. I don't know if this is going to work right where you can hear the gameplay audio, but just the peaceful calming sound of the little river here, phenomenal work. Pokemon often does have pretty fire sound effects. Azurill, hey, hey. Kind of an underwhelming find, right? But I will say water types are typically my favorite. It's never bad to have a handful of water types in the background or in the PC, in the the bullpen to call from, because they can come in handy. I misclicked and hit yawn again. I wanted to scratch, but that's okay. Because if you train these up, you get you get surf, you get waterfall, so decent moves. Of course, this is Gen 4, so we don't have our fairy typing yet. So a Zoomeril later on, and with randomized abilities not having huge power, it's not as effective as a teammate as it could be. But if nothing else, we can prevent having to catch another one in future encounters by enacting Dupe's Claws. And first ball, Bassy comes through. We got the Azurill. So I used to have nicknames for these. I think, like most people, something like Peekaboo or whatever. But without revealing who they are, we have some friends, and they recently had a son, and the mother, her maiden name is Meryl, and I just think it's funny that there's a Meryl in Pokemon. So we'll name this after their son Francis, because Francis is phenomenal. Not what we call him, but we're just trying to protect some identities here a little bit. So we will wrap it up right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Until next time.